Hey guys, and CSFan001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, March 30th, 2020. So this will have covered the week of the 23rd through the 29th. There was not a huge amount of trophy progress made this week, going into our third week here of lockdown, quarantine, social distancing, whatever you want to call it at this point. But there was definitely some progress made. Not as much as I would have liked, though, partially because the boosting groups I was going to work with for both Red Dead, like the Red Dead group has like gone completely inactive, so I'm just going to need to wait and until someone does a session on PSN profiles, and I'll get into one eventually. It just might take a little while longer than I wanted. Same with the co-op trophies for it. And then, of course, Black Ops 3. Mostly, it's just the buried Easter egg, miscellaneous trophy on buried, and then 7 trophies on Origins, including the Easter egg, which I need to learn first because I still don't know the map at all. Like, it's probably my worst map of all of Black Ops 2. But anyway, that's the update for those couple of games, and those are the games that I would like to work on. Now, I don't know, I might also actually go back and play Borderlands Game of the Year in the near future, like while we're still in this whole situation, and try it again with the corrosive weapons and stuff and see if maybe by some miracle I can get through it and get through the other 2 maps, because I only have 2 maps left. I don't actually have all 3 left. But I already did, like, I think the one I did was the easiest one. So, anyway, the 2 games I made progress in this week were Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 2. So, a week of Resident Evil. So, Resident Evil 6. I already had all the DLC trophies done. So, the Platinum Trophy. I finished off... Actually, I think I might have already finished off the game on Professional. I did. Okay, so what other trophies was I missing? Not very many. I know I had to max out all the skills. I feel like I might have been missing one other one, but that is the main one. The best way to grind out the skills in this game is to play the first section of Chris Chapter 5. And every time you play it, you can run through it within like 10 minutes because you'll get to this big room with a bunch of levers you can pull, and you do that, and it spawns the crystallite enemies, which are worth way more skill points. And just farm there repeatedly for probably at least 5 hours. Like, it took me more than 5 hours to get the remaining skill points. So that is definitely, or it was the best way for me. I don't know if there might be better ways, though. I know that some people might play Mercenaries if they're actually good at Mercenaries. I am not, so if you are good at it, then hit up some Mercenaries. It'll probably be a little more fun and a little more diverse. So yeah, that was the only trophy I had left. But overall, this Platinum is not too difficult. I'd say it's around a 3.5 out of 10 in difficulty. Professional isn't much of a problem in this game. Between the fact that you can put in your whatever skills you want, including the infinite shotgun ammo, that already makes it fairly easy. The fact that you don't have to deal with stupid AI in this one, you don't have to actually like heal or rescue or armor up or ammo up. I mean, I don't know what I was trying to say with that. Give ammo to your partner, any of that stuff. So it just makes the game significantly easier to play than Resident Evil 5 was. So it's really not something I would consider to be too difficult. Plus, especially on Professional, you can actually only just play the final checkpoint or the final section of each episode, or each chapter, I mean, and that will complete it. That'll count as complete. Now, you won't ever get S rankings or A rankings by doing that, but I don't really think those matter, honestly. So I would say that Professional was not really a problem in this game. I mean, I only had a couple of sections where I struggled. And then the Skills trophy is the most time-consuming of the remaining trophies, because this one does take a while, because even after 2 pretty much full playthroughs, you're not even really going to be all that close to being done with it. So it is a little time-consuming. This Platinum will take around, I would say, 40 to 50 hours, I think. You could, I don't know, you might could do it faster than that, so we're just going to say 40-ish hours to get the Platinum. As for the DLC, we've talked about it before, but each DLC, this first one is pretty easy. It has 2 trophies that are much easier. Really, all the trophies on this one are easier to do while playing with an actual human partner. But this DLC total can take anywhere from like 3 to 6 hours, depending on if you're playing alone or not. If you're just playing with your own second console, then this one will take a little bit longer, but otherwise it's fast. It's faster, I mean. Then you have Survivors. Survivors takes, I would say, around probably 4 to 5 hours to get through, like 3 to 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours, something along those lines. But it does have 2 trophies this one and this one that do require you to have a total of 3 people in the lobby. It's a little bit easier with 4 just to keep the teams balanced. And you do have to kill 100 enemies, which takes a long time, but it's not difficult, at least, you know, like I said, 3 to 5 hours. Predator is the easiest of the 4. It's also the shortest. This one only takes around 3 hours to do. You might could even do it faster if you were boosting with other people, but I'm not sure if you could. This is the time-consuming one, capture 50 total humans, but all the trophies are very easy. This one's not going to cause much of a problem. And then, of course, there is Siege, the worst DLC of all. This one is a nightmare. This trophy and this trophy are pretty easy, and this one took a few tries, but I eventually got lucky with it, but it's mainly these first two, because you have to defeat the BSAA agent himself with the killing blow 100 times. You have to kill 100 player-controlled agents and 100 player-controlled characters. The characters one may not be correct, like some of the guides say that you only have to kill just creatures, and it doesn't have to be human-controlled creatures. I don't know if that's true or not, because you're going to get that long before you finish off 100 player-controlled agents. So it's an extremely time-consuming and boring grind, and it's not fun. Do not want to do this one again. That's the main reason I don't want to do the PS4 version of the game, just because it would be even worse, because the requirements are not cut in half the way that Resident Evil 5 was on the PS4, but you'd still have to be boosting with an actual other human player the whole time, which makes it take a whole lot longer. But that's Resident Evil 6, so that's another Resident Evil game done. And the current Resident Evil game that I am now working on, Resident Evil 2. This game is awesome for the most part. I got one little gripe, and we'll get to that in a moment. But I absolutely love this game overall. It's so much fun to play through. The story is pretty solid. The gameplay is fun. Claire is hot as hell in that racing outfit, suit, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, with this Platinum though, the Platinum, as it turns out, is not that hard now that you can buy the deluxe weapons. It's like a DLC pack in the PlayStation Store. It costs $5. It unlocks all the extra modes and all the infinite weapons, which makes the Platinum noticeably easier because it makes the hardcore runs significantly easier because you at least don't have to worry about ammo anymore. So as for the trophies, you're going to get all of these trophies through here just by completing the story twice. You're going to have to complete Leon's story and Claire's story. So nothing too difficult there, just complete the game once on any difficulty. This one is earned after you complete at least one of the B scenarios. You may have to complete both. I can't remember if you have to complete both or just one of them, but you're going to have to complete both pretty much regardless to get all the other trophies anyway, so it's fine. As for the stories, I'm following a guide on PSN Profiles that had me play through the game on assisted first run as Leon, then on standard as Claire with an S ranking, and then my next playthrough will be, I want to say, standard with Leon, S ranking. Then the one after that is an assisted run with Claire to get a couple of the playthrough spanning trophies, as well as those 2 runs will get the remaining collectibles out of the way. And then the 2 hardcore runs, though I may end up trying to combine maybe the next hardcore run with the next Leon run or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter if I have to play through the game a couple extra times, because you can beat it in like 2.5 hours. It's not a big deal. So now you have a whole bunch of miscellaneous trophies that are all but unmissable. Combine 2 items, like it's extremely unlikely you're going to miss any of these, but they are there and they are technically missable. Increase your inventory. There's 6 chances to do it, and you can get all 6. Customize any weapon, just find a weapon part and add it to your weapon. Defeat an enemy with a knife, that one, just equip the knife and knife someone with it. You could probably do it in the Tofu Survivors as well. Then you have to counterattack with a sub-weapon, that's pretty much unmissable. Board up a window is basically unmissable because it's how you're supposed to actually play the game, even though a lot of people don't do it. You have to destroy one of the 15 Mr. Raccoons. You have to destroy all 15, though. It's one of the collectible types. You have to open up the portable safe. There's actually 2 of them. There's 6 dial safes. So open up all 8 of those throughout your playthrough. Shoot a grenade that you feed to an enemy. That one's pretty much tough to miss. This one's very easy to do when you're in the police station, when you're in the jail cells. It's very easy to do there because a whole bunch of enemies are going to pop out at once and you just throw a grenade into them, and it's very easy to do that way. This one's best done on the dogs because they're much less dangerous than the lickers. So just use a shotgun to do it, and it's not too difficult. This one, throw a flash grenade at a licker, you're good to go. Shoot Tyrant's hat off, aka Mr. X. Shoot his hat off at any point when you encounter him, and you're good to go with that trophy. This is a playthrough specific trophy, or actually, you might be able to do this one as Claire or Leon in their A scenarios, because both A scenarios have you fighting the G. I don't know if it might not be the stage 2G when you play as Claire. It might be a different version. But that one's pretty easy. If you just pull out the infinite rocket launcher for it, is the easiest way to go. This one I actually missed because the trophy description is a bit misleading, because I used photo hints to find 2 items, but it apparently wasn't the photos I was supposed to be getting. There's a specific roll of film you have to pick up that is somewhere down in like the sewers, or not, yeah, kind of in the sewers, and you have to decipher it and then specifically use that one to find 2 specific hidden items. So that's the reason I don't have it. I'm going to get it. I'll get it on my Leon hardcore run most. Well, no, it depends on where it spawns in at on Leon B. Then you have to expand inventory slots to max. There's 6 of them, like I said. These 2 are both section-specific trophies. This one for Ada is pretty easy. You really don't have to kill anything in her section, except for the fact that there is a collectible in there, so you have to do some clever saving to do it. This one gave me a little bit of trouble just because 60 seconds is really not a lot of time to solve the little puzzle because it's semi-randomized, and because you already have to waste like 20 seconds on cutscenes during that section, so it's a little annoying, but it's not too difficult. Then you have these 2, which are for the final boss, defeating the final boss on each of the 2 scenarios with 4 or 5 minutes left. This one's for Claire, this one's for Leon. Again, infinite rocket launcher, couple shots, good to go. Now you have the collectibles, the raccoons, and the files, and the safes. The safes and locks you can get in a single playthrough with any character, but the raccoons and files, there are some specific to each of the 4 scenarios, so you will have to beat the game at least 4 times to get all of these. But as long as you're following a guide, you're good to go. I mean, I finished the 2 playthroughs with most of the collectibles, so just a couple more to clean up. Then you have to complete Claire and Leon's stories on standard or hardcore with an S rank. So you can do it on standard. The hardcore one is a little bit tougher, but you don't have to do that, obviously. You can just do it on standard. Then you have to complete each story on hardcore, which is not really that difficult with the infinite ammo weapons. That makes it significantly easier. Then you can just focus on only picking up critical items and healing items. And you're allowed to save too, which is a nice thing. So you can save as much as you need to as long as you have the ink ribbons. So that's not too bad. Then these 2 are the ones you're supposed to combine on Claire's B run. You're supposed to do the no recovery items and no item boxes. These could be a little tough. Just because, you know, getting through the whole game without healing is a little tricky, same as with not using the item box, just because the item box has the infinite weapons in it. So it's just going to be a lot of saving and stuff. I did manage to get this one, though, on Claire A, and I barely got it, too. I was at, like, 13,200 when I got into the elevator at the end, barely beat it. But I've already finished the hardest trophy for the Platinum, Grim Reaper, complete the 4th Survivor Extra mode. This is a little bonus mode. It's tough. I'm not going to deny that it is tough. It requires skill. It requires a little bit of luck as well as to how the zombies decide to behave, because you have very limited supplies and you have to rush through a whole bunch of enemies. I don't even think it's possible to kill anywhere near all of them in a single run of it. But it's not too terribly difficult. It only takes around 10 to 12 minutes on a successful run. My recommendation would be make absolutely sure to save 2 grenades for the final rush to the end. Like one to kill the first group of zombies / distract the big guy, and then a second one to get past the second group of them. So because there's a whole bunch of zombies right at the end, save 2 of your grenades for that if you can. It's going to make your life much easier. Or a grenade and a flashbang would also probably work. So, and then like I had when I got through this, I was red, blinking health, almost dead. I only had maybe like 7 bullets left in the Magnum, and that was it for my ammo when I got to the end. Yeah, of all things, the Magnum, because I was running past just about everything. So anyway, that is the Platinum Trophy. I will be getting this probably within this next week, because now it's just a few shorter playthroughs, speedrun playthroughs. And I also got the second of 2 DLCs done. This DLC is extremely easy. You just have to pick up one specific collectible. It is in Kendo's Gun Shop. Well, I don't know if that's the name of it, but it's in the gun shop, and it's done during Leon's scenario. I don't know if it's in both A and B, but I know it's in A. That's where I picked it up. Just pick it up, and you get the trophy, and you 100% the DLC. Easy as that. The Ghost Survivors, I don't really know how hard this is going to be. I know that this trophy is easy. You just have to destroy Mr. Raccoons within the scenarios. That's not a problem. This is the trophy that I'm worried about because to unlock No Way Out, I believe to unlock No Way Out, you have to complete the other scenarios, but you can complete them on the easy mode, which isn't a big deal. But I've heard that this one is actually pretty tough, so I don't know if it's harder than Fourth Survivor. If it's harder than Fourth Survivor, then that's not good. If it's considered easier than Fourth Survivor, then I'm good to go. But at least that is not part of the Platinum, so at the very least, I know for a fact I'll have the Platinum soon. I don't know exactly when I'll get done with this, but hopefully soon. And then I can move on to Resident Evil 0. I kind of want to do that one sooner rather than later now that I'm kind of in a bit of a Resident Evil mood right now. And that game doesn't even have any DLC, which is nice. And then I could have Resident Evil 0 done as well before Well, no, it probably wouldn't be before Resident Evil 3 comes out. But at the very least, then I'd only have Resident Evil 3, the PS4 version of Resident Evil 6 that I don't plan to do, and the DLC, 2 of the DLCs for Resident Evil 7 left on my list, and then I'd be done with the numbered Resident Evils, which would be pretty cool to have done as a series, because not a lot of people have done all the numbered Resident Evils, and especially not all the Resident Evils, because I can tell you right now, that's never going to happen. I don't have that kind of time. So, level 72, 57%, 18,038 total trophies, 427 platinums, 2,422 golds, 4,739 silvers, 10,450 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Well, we're still in the whole lockdown, quarantine, social distancing, and I'm pretty sure it's now declared that it's going to go on for another month. So, hopefully I have a new job within that time frame, sooner rather than later. But at the very least, for now, it means I will have, more time to be playing games and stuff, which I guess that's a plus. Well, you got, Resident Evil 2, I'll be finishing it up. I want to do Resident Evil 0 sooner rather than later. I need to look a little more into the game, though, and see what you sort of have to do for it. I got to play that Resident Evil 3 demo down there probably on a stream. Now, a couple other things to point out. First of all, and this is an interesting one, where did this Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered come out of? Like, it just popped up out of nowhere today. It's crazy. I can't say that... well, no, that didn't come out the right way. I mean, I'm surprised, but I am very excited for it. That's going to be a day one pickup for me, most likely. Or it might already be out for all I know by the time this is going up. I don't know. But yeah, I will absolutely be playing that, and I'll probably be playing it on stream too, because I can't wait. That's going to be awesome, even though I still have so many questions. And then that is the other thing I want to talk about here, streaming. This past weekend, I was having some real issues streaming with YouTube. Like, just things not working. I had to jump through a bunch of hoops to even be able to continue streaming on the YouTube Studio, the new YouTube streaming. And I eventually got it to where it looks like at least my main capture card will be working fine. I still need to test it with my old capture card, but I assume it will now that I think I've got the settings right. And then just the streaming was screwing up on Saturday as well. Like, it marked the stream, the second half of the stream as unlisted for some reason, which I don't understand at all. So I don't know what was going on with the streaming setup, but it's just YouTube's streaming system is so janky and so terrible that it makes me more and more want to switch over to Twitch. Now, here's the things about that. Like, I put a poll up on both YouTube and Twitter. On Twitter, it's favoring going to Twitch instead, whereas on YouTube, it is actually overwhelmingly favoring YouTube. So, for now, at least, I'm going to stick primarily with YouTube, but I want to, get my foot in the door a little bit and try at least one stream on Twitch and see what it's like. The main issue with Twitch is, of course, the fact that most of my viewers, at least, are going to be over here on YouTube, so it would almost be like starting over, but I do know that Twitch is a much, much better platform for streaming, so I don't know. I gotta learn more about even streaming on Twitch in the first place, the rules, and how to get everything set up and all, and how all like emotes and all that kind of stuff works. So I gotta learn more about it too, but it is a possibility that I end up starting to do some Twitch streaming, and if I'm ever gonna do a stream on Twitch, I will make sure to post a video on here that says, hey guys, I'm about to go stream on Twitch at twitch.zptv0123, if that's how it goes, because That is my Twitch username, ZPTV0123, because 123 was taken for some reason. At least it was when I last tried to change. I don't know if it's working now, but we'll see about that. So anyway, that's the plan for this week. Work on the Resident Evil games some more. Maybe go back to Borderlands Game of the Year and try to get it done, or at least get another one of the maps done. Speaking of that, Borderlands 3's second DLC just released. It, just like the first one, it's considered a 3 out of 10, so it's pretty easy, but it's also a little bit longer, and I also don't own it because the Season Pass is overpriced. And then, of course, Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, all exciting. And then beyond all that, maybe start looking to see that there might end up being a stream on Twitch in the near future. And also, by the way, I don't own Animal Crossing. I'm sure someone's going to ask that because that's just become the biggest phenomenon now. Yeah, so I think that's about it for now, guys. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. I know there will probably be a recipe video out this week. We'll have to see, so... and then hopefully also working on Black Ops 2 and Red Dead. And people have even talked to me about going back to Destiny 1 and Battlefield 3 sooner rather than later. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out as things go on. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you for a Platinum Trophy video tomorrow and probably some streams and stuff this week.